You made it to level 2, deeper questions leading to deeper answers. I'm Tomas Garza, and I'm here to help you decide to transform. I'll be setting the pace for the process to support your unfolding. Learn and commit to a practice that brings simplicity and an awareness of what is ready to be released. Join me now and allow the experience of a deeper sense of love. Hello and welcome back to Decide to Transform. I'm your host, Tomas Garza, and I want to take a moment and welcome you to Season 5 of this podcast. I have been running the show since 2019, and as you may know, it has taken on several different iterations, several seasons, you might even say several lifetimes. So after a break of several months' time here, I'm coming back to you with a series of solo episodes, shorter, bite-sized chunks of time, 10 to 20 minutes, where I'll be sharing about spirituality, your personal growth, your life, your transformation. All of that is encompassed under this heading of spirituality. And I have a lot that I'm excited to share with you. So thank you, as always, for joining me. And please feel welcome, by the way, to go back and listen to any of the past episodes of Decide to Transform. There are over 100 of them, and they are still available anywhere that you listen to podcasts: Apple, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, you name it. They're all there. And I've interviewed some really amazing men and women in the fields of personal growth, transformation, and spirituality. So at your leisure, feel welcome to go back and listen to the material. It's great. These are some fabulous conversations. And while you're at it, please go ahead and subscribe to the show on Podbean, where it's hosted. decidetotransform.podbean.com. Okay. Yeah. So moving ahead with today's topic of decision, this is something that's very prominent in my own mind and my own approach to spirituality. And some of you may know that I've written a book called Decide. That's it. That's the title. Decide. The power of choice in the present moment and the power of decision is a concept that has so gripped me that I wrote a whole book about it. And those of you who have published a book on your own, edited it yourself, done everything pretty much with the help of a wonderful, wonderful publication company, for sure. But if you've done all that work yourself, you'll know that it's quite a process. And the book itself is, in fact, titled Decide: How to Replace Your Fictions with Truth, Go Big in Life, and Transform Audaciously. I like throwing in the word audaciously. Yeah. It's about the power of choice and decision in the present moment. Now, quick backstory on this. In 2018, I was invited to start teaching meditation at a friend's yoga studio in McMinnville, Oregon, where my wife Cindy and I were staying at the time. She's from Oregon, and I lived in Western Oregon for 23 years. Anyway, it was an opportunity to go into a yoga studio and teach basic meditation, all levels meditation, really, because even if you've done it for 30 plus years like I have, every time you sit, you're doing it for the first time. So, yeah, because you could still, even after 30 plus years, get carried away with thoughts of tomorrow's lunch. I promise you, it happens to me sometimes. Sometimes it's a baseball game that I'll start thinking about, or what I'm going to have for dinner. And then you sit there and you think, oh, my toe itches. Things like that. I had the opportunity to teach meditation, and I realized that we come up with all kinds of excuses not to evolve. We come up with all kinds of reasons why we can't, with emphasis on the word can't, awaken. Why we can't, why we really won't, because we're choosing not to. But we choose to believe certain fictions about ourselves, like I'm not good enough, I can't, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too aware, I'm too unaware, I'm too smart, I'm too dumb, you name it. It's just not for me. And I went on to write a book about all of those excuses that we tell ourselves, with the emphasis on making a decision in the present moment to change that. You, if you're telling yourself that you can't, well, you don't have to tell yourself that. I mean, really, everything comes down to a choice in the present moment, and that is, in fact, one of the pillars of spirituality as I teach it. And this material applies to you no matter what your spiritual or religious background is, no matter who you are or where you come from, no matter what you are or are not practicing right now, today. It applies to you because it's universal. Truly, if you're out there looking for a spiritual path, and I know that a number of you are, there's a lot to choose from, isn't there? There's so much out there that it can be, frankly, bewildering at times. It can be overwhelming. And one question, if you find yourself searching, that you can ask about any presentation is it universal? Is it universal? Does it apply to everyone, regardless of background? If you're able to honestly answer that question, yes, and it should be obvious if it is. If you're able to answer that question, yes, then that is a spiritual tradition that is worth its salt. It's worth its weight, so to speak. It's applicable. And that's really the essence of it, isn't it? It's applicable. Because the action is in the present moment. The action is in applying lessons. It doesn't matter how scholarly you are in a particular tradition, because many world spiritual traditions have an extensive canon of literature, extensive teachings, songs, sutras, sadhanas, right? Entire large books with hundreds or thousands of pages. It's possible to acquire extensive knowledge, and it's fascinating, isn't it? However, let's not lose sight of the fact that spirituality is about experience. It's about experience, and it's about practical, present moment application. I know. Did you want it to be sexier than that? Sorry. It's about present moment practical application. So if you find yourself among those that are searching, then is it universal? That's a great question. I'll tell you what is universal is the fact that we have the power of choice in the present moment. Some of you may know that I teach A Course in Miracles, and this factors into A Course in Miracles as it does any presentation of world spirituality. We have only the present moment. It can be quickly deduced and agreed upon, right, that the past is gone, even though we want to relive it sometimes, and the future's not here. I think we could all agree on that. Yet we live our lives as though that's not the case. We live our lives fretting about something we did or didn't do in the past, or should not have done. Or we worry about tomorrow's sales meeting. We worry about whether they're going to have zucchini at the grocery store next Friday when we go. I mean, really. These are simple examples, but we live our lives almost all the time anywhere but the present moment. In the present moment, this is where the magic is. This is where it all takes place because it's the only moment that exists. We have the opportunity right now to choose. We have the opportunity to make a decision. It appears that we have millions and millions of choices, like going to the grocery store and walking down the produce department aisle with all kinds of choices. Here's some tomatoes, here's a red onion, there's some lettuce, jalapeno peppers. Well, the cabbage looks wilted. How about the yellow squash? The herbs look like they're moldy. But nice eggplant, though. These are decisions that appear to us to be made. Yet, in truth, we have really only one decision. Remember, I'm talking about universal spirituality here. Even if you love eggplant, doesn't have anything to do with eggplant. Doesn't have to do with moldy herbs either. We have one choice in the present moment, and only one. We have a choice between love or fear. We have a choice between God or the ego. We have a choice between our light and our dark. We have a choice between life and death, if you want to put it that way. We have a choice between our higher self with a capital S or our little lowercase s self. The self that thinks it is encased in a body, running around, competing for finite, scarce resources with other bodies, doing pitched battle, attacking, loving one time, attacking the next. Well, we have a choice right now in the present moment. Love or fear. Whatever words you choose to put in there, God or the ego, light or dark, it's the same choice. There are two options. Which one we choose governs our entire experience. A loving choice begets another loving choice, doesn't it? A fear-based choice begets another fear-based choice. It can and does begin a habitual reaction. Now, it doesn't make any difference if you've chosen fear in the past, because we all have. That's why we see ourselves as separate and competing for supposedly scarce resources. The power of decision is ours in the present moment. So this is fundamentally uplifting, and I hope that you take some heart in this. If this is the time that you listen to this information and it hits home and sticks with you, excellent, excellent. That's what I hope happens. You can choose yet again. If you have chosen poorly in the past, you have an opportunity right now to make a new choice. It is a gift. It is a beautiful opportunity right now to say, nope, I'm going to do this instead. I'm choosing love instead. I'm choosing forgiveness instead. I'm choosing love. I'm choosing my light. I'm choosing not to feel this way. I'm reaching for a better feeling right now. This is something that you can do, and I invite you to do just that. The power of decision is amazing. It's life transforming. And if you make a loving choice right now, it is that much easier and more natural for you to make a loving choice again the next moment, and the next moment, and the next moment. And it feels good too. So let's pay attention, right, to the fact that when you extend forgiveness, you feel lighter. For example, when you walk down the street and smile and say good morning to somebody, they feel good, you feel good. It makes us feel better. So we can reach for a better feeling in the present moment. How? Choosing love. Choose it. Choose it. The power of decision is great. And here is the deal. Nobody can take that away from you. No one. You're getting this, right? Nobody can take your power of present moment decision and choice away from you. It may appear that they do, but we're choosing to give them the power, right? If you choose to give your boss power to tell you can't have your 2-week vacation, you know what? You might want to complain that you have no choice, but you do. You do have a choice. I mean, really, truly, I'm not saying run out and quit your job. That's just an example. But we give our power away all the time. That's what a victim mentality is. It's choosing not to exercise our choice and saying that we don't have a choice. We're choosing to be small and little and sell ourselves short. That's exactly what's going on. So we have the opportunity to do the exact opposite. We have the opportunity to embrace love. We have the opportunity to reach for a happier feeling in the present moment. We have the opportunity to forgive. We have the opportunity to lighten ourselves and experience the truth as it is. The power of decision cannot be taken away from us. It is a free power of choice that we always retain. You are that powerful. I promise you, you are that powerful. So choose to use it. Decide in the present moment. All right. Well, I hope that this message hits home with you. And I hope that today is the day where you decide for love, for God, for your light, for your higher self. Pick the term. This is universal. So again, it doesn't matter what your religious or spiritual background is. This choice applies to all of us equally, and no one can take it away. We can give it away, as we've seen in some of the examples, but nobody can possibly take it from us. All right, so I thank you for tuning in, and I welcome you, as always, to go back and listen to some of the back episodes of Decide to Transform, and subscribe to the show on Podbean. That's decidetotransform.podbean.com. And as always, I want to welcome your questions. Email is, in fact, the best way to do this. My email is Tomas, Tomas, at tomasgarza.com. Please feel welcome to send me a question. I'm happy to address that in an episode, or, because these episodes are shorter now, even as the subject of an episode of the show itself. So I welcome your questions. Also, please feel welcome to reach out to me for coaching. I am a spiritual coach. I am a Soul Path certified mentor as well. More information is available. If you ask me, reach out right here on email, or you can reach out to me on my website, tomasgarza.com. There's a lot of options out there for you to make a beautiful, life-changing choice, because the power of decision is yours. And thank you for tuning in. I'll catch you on the next show.